Emmerdale delivered an emotional moment as the baby's name was finally revealed in tonight's episode. The scene opened with the young parents reflecting on the difficult experience surrounding the birth, and how the doctor, despite her harsh attitude, ultimately helped them through, with one of them reluctantly admitting she performs well under pressure. After being encouraged by a staff member, the mother took the baby in for feeding. She initially worried it wasn't enough, but was reassured that a newborn's stomach is very small, so everything was perfectly fine. Later, the pair visited the hospital room, allowing the woman to hold the baby, while expressing that they would always remember how she went the extra mile for them. They then shared the baby's name, Leyla Charity Sugden. The middle name was chosen as a heartfelt thank you for everything she had done, while the first name honors the father's late mother, who tragically lost her life in the limo crash earlier in 2025. The moment became overwhelming, leading him to step outside. He was soon followed and comforted, being told his mum would have been incredibly proud of him. However, the joyful atmosphere didn't last long, as the doctor's brave actions hadn't softened her stance. She attempted to use what she'd done as leverage to make him withdraw his statement, but he insisted it only strengthened his determination to continue with the complaint, especially for those who had left their jobs because of her behavior. Hurt by the situation, the doctor later discovered through medical records that the baby was not born via surrogacy, but instead resulted from a secret relationship. Now the question remains, how long will it be before she uses this revelation to her advantage? Mac is set to face a crushing betrayal in Emmerdale, and it's not just from Charity. Spoilers for Wednesday's April 22nd episode, now streaming on ITVX, reveal major drama ahead before it airs on ITV1 at 7:30 p.m. Mackenzie is left devastated when he learns that Charity was unfaithful to him with Ross last year. In typical Emmerdale fashion, secrets never stay hidden for long, and this one is bound to explode. Despite his doubts, he eventually supported her, understanding that she only wanted to help fulfill her granddaughter's hopes. What he doesn't realize, however, is that the baby Charity gave birth to earlier this week is not the child of Sarah and her partner, but actually her own biological baby, with Ross as the father. As fans may remember, the embryo transfer failed, and not long after, Charity and Ross shared a one-night encounter that led to the pregnancy. Ross has already figured out the truth, but Mackenzie remains completely unaware, though when the truth finally comes out, it's certain to leave him heartbroken. Not only will he discover that Charity betrayed him, but also that the father of the baby is Ross, who has recently become one of his closest friends. When Ross first returned to the village and met Mackenzie, the two didn't get along at all. Over time, though, they built an unexpected friendship, which was especially clear in Wednesday's episode. Mackenzie even thanked Ross for supporting Charity during the birth, after he struggled in the lift due to past trauma. Following Charity's surgery, Mackenzie embraced Ross, unaware that Ross is already feeling guilty about what happened between him and Charity. Now the big question is how Mackenzie will react when he discovers that both Charity and Ross have betrayed him. He's on the verge of losing everything at once, and the timing couldn't be worse, especially after recently mentioning his son's birthday. His son currently lives elsewhere with his mother, who has kept Mackenzie away and even threatened serious consequences if he tries to make contact. To protect Charity, Mackenzie has stayed away, but it's clearly been weighing heavily on him, something that will only get worse once the truth about the baby is revealed. Meanwhile, Charity has her own problem to deal with. The doctor has uncovered that Jacob is not the baby's father, and she may use this information as leverage against him after he reported her behavior. Mandy's unexpected suggestion leaves Paddy horrified in Emmerdale, prompting him to walk out. Paddy is still dealing with the frightening possibility of a prison sentence next week, and an ill-judged comment from Mandy only makes matters worse. Ever since he learned that his father had fallen victim to a cruel human trafficking and modern slavery ring, his world has been turned upside down. With the criminals also targeting his unofficially adopted son as part of their operation, Paddy became deeply caught up in the consequences. When he attempted to rescue the boy from a deadly situation, he nearly lost his own life in the process. During the chaos, his father stepped in and unintentionally killed the attacker, a moment that changed everything. In a desperate attempt to protect him, Paddy and the boy chose to hide the body, hoping to keep him out of trouble. However, unable to cope with the trauma and guilt from everything he had endured, his father eventually confessed. Determined to help him, Paddy and the boy also admitted their involvement, which led to both of them being charged with interfering with justice. Since then, Paddy has been overwhelmed with fear about going to prison, while also worrying about his father, who remains in custody awaiting trial. The pressure has taken a serious toll on his mental health. Noticing worrying similarities to a dark period in his past, he reached out to his closest friend for support. Although they later uncovered financial evidence that helped clear someone else, it ended up making his father appear even more guilty. The records revealed that illegal money had been stored in an account under his father's name, leading authorities to suspect he may have been involved in the wider criminal scheme. In the coming episodes, Paddy's daughter becomes increasingly upset by the rumors surrounding her dad and the looming court case, pushing him to finally explain the situation to her. Heartbroken, he admits that he could be sent to prison for trying to help her grandfather, leaving them both in tears as she begs him not to go. Seeing how much he's struggling, Mandy suggests that he could distance himself from the situation by allowing his father to take the full blame in court. The idea shocks Paddy, leaving him deeply disturbed. Disgusted by what she's proposed, he storms off. Although they later make peace, with Mandy promising to support him no matter what happens, it's clear that Paddy is terrified about what lies ahead. Now the question remains, will the consequences of this situation continue to tear his life apart? Could he, his father, and the boy all end up behind bars, forced to leave everything behind? Right now, the future doesn't look promising for the much-loved vet. Emmerdale star Isabel Hodgins has revealed when she plans to return to the show after her emotional departure earlier this year. The actress, known for playing Victoria, stepped away on maternity leave in December, with her final scenes airing in February. Her exit storyline showed Victoria leaving the village with her son following a shocking incident in the crossover episode where she killed her half-brother. Struggling with guilt and facing blackmail, she chose to travel abroad to visit family and clear her head. Away from the screen, the actress and her husband were preparing to welcome their first child, who arrived in February. She gave birth to a baby girl and has since been sharing moments from her journey into motherhood on social media. Responding to a fan in the comments of a recent TikTok video, she confirmed that she is set to return to Emmerdale later this year. Although exact details about her comeback remain under wraps, her character's return could come at a crucial time. Her brother is currently dealing with the fallout of a dangerous situation involving a secret deal that is beginning to unravel. Recent episodes have shown him struggling with guilt after playing a major role in framing someone, all in an attempt to protect his sister's secret. The weight of his actions nearly led him to confess to the police. Thankfully, new evidence was uncovered that cleared the situation and brought relief to those affected. However, the truth is still hanging over him, and it won't stay hidden for long. In upcoming scenes, he finally admits what he did, explaining that he acted under pressure to protect his sister. He expresses deep regret for the harm caused, but the revelation sparks anger rather than forgiveness. Enraged by everything she's been put through, including being separated from her family during a difficult time, she confronts the man responsible. The situation quickly escalates, leaving him facing a life-threatening moment. The question now is whether she will go through with it. Emmerdale is broadcast on weekday evenings at 8 p.m. on ITV1, and is also available to stream on ITVX.